I dreamed of a towering ridge. It loomed sharp and isolated, overshadowing the rest of the chain, slicing through the twilight with its rugged outline. A luminous crescent moon drenched its flanks in a spectral glow. Clinging to one flank was the faint trace of an ancient path, etched into the stone. Patches of worn cobblestones peeked through the frost. To the right, a vertical drop-off formed an unyielding barrier. To the left, an abyssal void promised oblivion. Gusts howled against the ridge relentlessly, wailing in futile fury. Abruptly, the moon dipped below the edge. The sun emerged from the east, raced westward, and vanished. Ice crystals lifted from the earth, ascending back to the skies. I grasped that time was unraveling backward before my eyes. Centuries reversed in a blink. The frost melted away, exposing the forgotten trail. A chill gripped me as I spotted scattered human remains dotting the path. Moments later, they vanished, replaced by a procession of captives marching uphill in reverse, amid the rattle of bonds. Time halted, then surged forward once more. Seeker. Welcome to the void infection. Brace for your initial challenge. What in the depths is this? Step after step. Another weary stride. A throbbing ache pulsed through my raw, bloodied soles as shivers racked my frame from the biting chill. My ragged shirt offered scant defense against the relentless gale. My wrists screamed loudest, torn by the steel cuffs, each brush of cold metal ignited fresh torment on my lacerated flesh. What kind of twisted setup is this? I glanced ahead and behind, spotting a lengthy tether snaking up the trail, binding scores of gaunt, despairing souls, captives like me, at tight spacings. In front walked a burly figure with a scarred spine, moving with steady resolve. Behind, a twitchy fellow with darting, frantic eyes muttered oaths in a tongue I shouldn't have comprehended, yet did. Occasionally, mounted guards in archaic plating trotted by, casting threatening stares our way. No matter how I sliced it, this was dire. I felt more stunned than terrified. Sure, this didn't match the tales of initial ordeals. Typically, new seekers landed in roles with some leverage. Elite lineages or fighters, armed to the teeth, ready to face threats head-on. Waking as a helpless thrall, chained and on death's doorstep, was the polar opposite of favorable. But the infection balanced peril with potential. As that veteran cop had put it, it crafted tests, not slaughters. To offset this wretched beginning, it ought to grant something substantial. A potent role, maybe. Okay. How do I access this? Recalling those adventure comics from my youth, I focused inward, murmuring thoughts like profile, self, details. Sure enough, glowing symbols materialized in my vision. Though the script was alien, its intent was crystal clear. I zeroed in on the symbol for my role. And my calm shattered. What? This has to be a joke. Name: Michael. True name: rank: Seeker. Soul core: inactive. Memories: echoes. Attributes: destined, divine seal, shadow offspring. Role: Sanctum Thrall. Role description: a thrall is a pitiful drone lacking any noteworthy prowess or gifts. A sanctum thrall mirrors this, yet is exceedingly uncommon. I gaped at the symbols, willing them to shift, convinced my eyes deceived me. No way could fate be this cruel. Could it? No worthless roles, huh? Bullshit. The instant that crossed my mind, I lost my footing, yanking the tether with my fall. The twitchy guy behind erupted. You mangy cur. Eyes on the path. I hastily banished the symbols, visible only to me, and scrambled to regain my stride. Not before tugging the chain again, though. Little pest. I'll gut you. The burly man ahead chuckled without glancing back. Why waste the effort? The runt won't see dawn. This ridge will finish him. Seconds ticked by before he added. It'll claim you and me next. A tad later. Can't fathom what the Dominion's scheming, dragging us through this freeze. The twitchy one snarled. Talk for yourself, idiot. I'm built to endure. I shook my head in silence, zeroing in on not stumbling anew. What a delightful duo! Out of nowhere, a fourth voice chimed in from farther down the line. This one carried a calm, reasoned tone. This ridge crossing is typically milder this season. We're just cursed with foul fortune. And I'd caution against roughing up that lad. Why's that? I tilted my head slightly, eavesdropping. Haven't spotted the brands on his hide? He's not like us, ensnared by debts, wrongs, or bad breaks. Born into it, a sanctum thrall, no less. Not long past, the Dominion raised the final shrine of the Eclipse deity. Bet that's how he wound up in this mess. The burly one peered over his shoulder. So? Why fear a faded, feeble deity? Couldn't even safeguard its own shrines. The Dominion's shielded by the formidable battle deity. Naturally, they torch shrines without fear. But out here, we've no such guard. Want to risk provoking a deity? The burly man huffed, dropping the topic. Their exchange cut short as a youthful trooper on a sleek gray steed approached. In lightweight armor, toting a lance and blade, he exuded poise and nobility. To my annoyance, the jerk was annoyingly handsome too. In a saga vid, he'd snag the lead role. What's the issue here? His tone held no real edge, more like mild concern. When no one spoke, the reasoned voice replied. Nothing major, sir. We're all worn and chilled. That young one especially. This trek's brutal for his age. The trooper eyed me with sympathy. What are you staring at? You're barely older than I am, I fumed inwardly. Of course, I kept silent. He sighed, unhooking a canteen from his saddle and offering it. Hang in there a bit longer, lad. Camp's soon. For now, sip this water. Lad? Lad, my slight build and short height, both from starvation, often pegged me as younger. I'd exploited it plenty before, but now it grated like hell. Still, thirst clawed at me. I reached for the canteen when a lash whistled through the air, and agony exploded across my back. I buckled, jerking the tether and drawing fresh curses from the twitchy one. An older trooper, grizzled and furious, reined in nearby. The whip that rent my shirt and drew blood was his. Ignoring us captives, he skewered the youth with a scornful look. What do you think you're playing at? The young one's expression hardened. Just offering the boy water. He'll get his ration at camp with the lot. But. Zip it. These thralls ain't your pals. Got it? They ain't even folk. Treat 'em as such, and they'll get ideas. The youth glanced my way, then bowed his head and stowed the canteen. Don't let me spot you chumming with thralls again, greenhorn. Or it'll be your hide next. To drive the point, the elder cracked his whip skyward and spurred past, oozing hostility. I tracked him with veiled hatred. Somehow, I'll see you drop first. Then I shifted my gaze to the lagging youth, head still down. And you, right after.